Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The boys are back in town for another episode of the Beyond the Red Door podcast. Of course, I'm joined by my beautiful and lovely co-host, Dominick Perry. And Dom, it's been 3 months since we've done an episode, and I'm so excited that we're getting back to doing this and getting to chat about stuff. But before we get started, how you doing?
I'm excited. I'm hopeful that this is the last we're back that we have for a while, then we can keep being consistent on things. So I'm excited. I'm hopeful. It's great to see you and hear you in this digital realm. You don't get to talk much. We've both been extremely busy, so it's nice to see that we're doing these again. I know that we kind of like say that we're going to stick to things and then we both get really busy, but like we're really, keep coming back, which is far more important to me than just saying we're going to do it. So I'm really just kind of overall happy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Busy. Life has been busy though. Work is picking up left and right. Personal stuff left and right. I have 7 weddings this year. Three more to go. So, but
I
yeah,
think I
busy,
have
busy, busy.
I think I have 3 more weddings this year too. It has been
Oh,
a busy wedding year this year. Um, so, but before we kind of dive into some of the other stuff I want to talk about, so like obviously you said work's been busy. I think you had already started at your new job when we were talking, like when we did the last ones, right?
probably. Probably. I know. So
We should have looked back.
I don't know what time it was, but yeah, no. So have since started. So switched to contracting to move down to be closer to family. Parents aren't
Mhm.
spring chickens anymore, and they're needing a lot more help with things. So I'm more than happy to come down and really help them on a lot of things. And that once switching to contract work, it was easy. It was remote. I kind of miss it to be honest, because like it was really easy work. Like got I was stuck to 40 hours.
Mhm.
I did everything I needed to in maybe 20 hours, and they just kept trickling me more work. And I'm like, well, it was great though. It was a great gig. I loved my boss. I loved
Uh,
my team. They were great, but it was fully remote, like easiest life in the world. And so then I switched to my current job, which is now full time. I'm like hybrid in office, doing the normal shtick again. Um, and they're putting me through the ringer, but I love it. Every single day it is a newfound activity, and it's exactly like brought back the spark of why I do what I do and what I love what I do. So I've since started that, and it's been a phenomenal 8, 9 months. I don't really know. I kind of lost track at this point, but um, yeah. Though, how about you? Though you've done a big move recently.
yeah, so that's kind of why we took a little break because like I looked back. So we recorded our last one in April, and then we had another one that we did, but it was pre-banquet kind of stuff. It's just been busy, but yeah, I just did a big move. So like for those that do know, I had been living in the Quad Cities in Illinois for the last 3 years. And then in June, I moved to Minnesota. And so now I live in the Twin Cities, or just outside of the Twin Cities. So there was a lot between like my end of the school year, like my school year in Illinois ended. It was right before Memorial, or it was right after Memorial Day weekend. So I like finished like maybe that Tuesday or Wednesday right after Memorial Day, packed up and then left like the next week. So I like had barely finished work and then was already like on the move. So yeah, now I live in Minnesota, right outside of the Twin Cities. Like I said, I'm on the like Minneapolis side, but now I work in the St. Paul side, so I'm kind of across both of them.
Doing the same thing again. Like a river is literally separating your job again.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice 40-minute drive that I have to work, but it's worth it for the district I'm working for. So like, I was a school psychologist beforehand, or like at my last job too, and I'm still doing that. But I was at my last job when I was in Illinois, I was contracting. So like I would say pretty similar. Like I was through like a co-op basically, and they would send me out to a district. And now I'm working in house at a district. So comes with its changes. It's a lot. I actually have like an office at my job, which I enjoy, and like I'm gonna be staying at one place instead of bumping around a lot, which is nice. But yeah, so that was my my big kind of thing. And then the summer's just been busy, I think, for both of us. Like, like you said, I've had a handful of weddings this summer and events that I've been kind of going to. And so I'm just like busy every weekend. And now we're getting
Yeah.
back into the groove of things here, right when like my school year is about to start again. So like I'm kind of getting ready for work and I'm getting into my groove.
Okay. So when's your first big day?
So our school year starts right after Labor Day, like Tuesday or
Okay.
Wednesday of Labor Day.
Yep.
But I've had like, new teacher trainings and like that kind of stuff prior. So like last week I had a full week of trainings and then this upcoming week I have a full week of trainings. So, we'll have kids starting here soon, but like yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Like I said, I'm working in the St. Paul, like the North St. Paul school district. So like for perspective on kind of like my change in job too, I worked for a whole district in Illinois, and it was probably about just over 1,000 kids across the whole district. And now I'm solely working at I'm working at two buildings for my new district, but I'm working at a middle school that has about 1,000 kids in just the middle school. And then I'm working with students in a like 12 plus program. So some individuals, that maybe didn't have like a traditional high school path and are still needing some kind of special ed services and kind of, getting provided until they're 22. So some older individuals, but I'm very excited for it. It's similar to some of the stuff I was already doing, but like I said, it's gonna be a big change with that many kids in one building.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's been the big thing. And then of course, like I said, I've been busy all summer just doing a bunch of fun stuff. I went to two state fairs this summer. That was a good time.
Got a
Um,
favorite yet?
my girlfriend might kill me, but we went to the Iowa one and the Minnesota one.
Hmm.
And the Iowa one was a good time. We went and saw Pitbull live, which was awesome. And obviously ate a bunch of food. That's really what I'm there for the fair for. Um, and then we went to the Minnesota one actually on Friday. It was like the day after it opened, and that was solely just to go eat food. And I think the Minnesota one had better food. And I said this, and she was pretty upset when I said it the other day, but I still am holding my like gumption with it. I think it had better food than the Iowa one. I was a little
I
disappointed.
would agree. Um, so no Wisconsin State Fair this year?
What was that?
No Wisconsin State Fair.
No, where is the Wisconsin State Fair at?
It is in West Dallas, usually, over by
Okay,
Milwaukee.
maybe next year I'll have to like plan it out to kind of hit all three. That'd be a good time.
So work
I,
gives
this
me
is the Sorry,
ooh,
go ahead.
no, no, you're good. I was gonna say that work gave me a ticket, and I was like, well, now I kind of feel like I have to go because I wanted to try new foods. They
Uh huh.
did have a lot of weird stuff, but man, I can't do state fair food as much as I used to. It's so hard. And like I got a sensitive little boy tummy some days, and so like it's so hard eating greasy food.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like growing up in Illinois, like our state fair is in Springfield, and I'm from Northern Illinois, so like from there to Springfield is probably a good like 5 hours, 5 6 hours. So like I never went to a state fair. I just stick with the local stuff. And so hitting two over one summer was like kind of crazy because it was like there's so many people here, there's so much stuff going on. I'm getting like sensory overload from just everything.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I enjoyed a lot of the food that I tried. There was a lot of interesting things, stuff that I wouldn't really expect, but that's what it's there for, right?
So now that you're in Minnesota, like have you found any food in the Twin Cities yet? Like what's been your thing there?
Oh, it branched out a little bit. I'd say that there's like near where I live currently, like there's a little area, I guess, like a like strip mall kind of stuff that has a couple of places that are pretty good. So there's like a bar that we like going to that has a lot of good food. I think I've gone there like 4 or 5 times and haven't been disappointed yet.
Okay.
And then there's still like sushi place that we go to pretty regularly, like hibachi and sushi. But
Oh, have you tried Sushi Train that's up there?
not yet. It's on the list.
Ooh, it's good. It's a lot of fun. They have little peanut butter and jelly rolls as well. It's great.
I don't know
But
if that
overall,
sounds
like
good
Sushi
to
Train
me,
is
but
like it's over on like the west side over in St. Louis Park, and it's just a cute little
Hmm.
place. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I downloaded an app over the summer to start like keeping track because I was getting so many restaurant recommendations and I was like seeing stuff on Instagram and stuff, and I was like, I need a way
Mhm.
to like keep track of this in some form so I know what I want to go to. And I have this app that I started using now that like keeps track of restaurants. You can like rank food in it and like take pictures of what you got and add to their like reoccurring kind of list. So I've got it's a slowly growing list. I would say the one of the better places that we've gone to is there. So the town that I live in now is Chaska, and like I said, it's on like the southwestern kind of side of Minneapolis.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and they have a curling center like in town that is like
Yeah.
known for hosting like big curling events. Like they've hosted like some of the I don't know if it's just or it's probably not just the USA. I have to remember, but like they host a bunch of like curling events basically.
Mhm.
Um, and so like I said, they have these like banners up with like, oh, we've hosted like the US Open of curling or whatever, and all this other
Oh, I've
stuff.
been to Chaska. Okay.
Yeah, but they have attached to the curling center is like a bar, and it's got this big like open glass area, and you can just watch people play curling while you're at the bar, like eating bar food.
Mhm.
Um, and so we've gone there a handful of times. Got really good food. Like they're known for like the Lucy burgers, like the burgers filled with cheese and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of their specialty. But every time we've gone, there's been people doing curling. Like they have curling leagues, which like threw me off a little bit that was a thing. And then you can rent or like you can sign up for classes, like learn to curl classes basically. Um, and so like I said, we'll just go and like watch. We've gone one time and there's been like these like college kids basically like practicing for whatever university they're with, and then um, there's been some times we've gone and it's just like people trying it for the first time. So it's a really cool experience. Anybody that
Mhm.
comes up here should go watch it at least once.
Yeah. I think you're
But
absolutely right. But
yeah.
one more recommendation for breakfast, though, if I can
Mhm.
add into that, there's this place called Benedict's.
Ooh.
It's like on the other side of the
Oh,
lake
wait, wait,
from
wait.
you.
Yes. We've been to Benedict's. It's
Oh yeah,
delicious.
the breakfast place. Yeah.
Yes, it's in Wayzata. That's where my girlfriend
Yes,
works.
yes, exactly.
And yes, it's delicious. It's very high end, like Benedict's. Like I mean, that's in the name, but egg Benedict's. I think we've gone 3 or 4 times, and like I said, haven't been disappointed yet. So
Oh my God, it's so good. It's such a like it's a little bit more expensive than I'd ever want it to be, but having crab cake, eggs Benedict or like lobster Benedict is
mhm.
in kind of insane for what it is. And then monkey bread is an appetizer.
Yes, they have really good monkey bread there. It's a little bougie, but it's a good time. We only go when we've had like friends with us, like visiting. Like that's our like
Hmm.
go to breakfast place to like show people. Um, so yeah, I've done that. I also went to a Minnesota United soccer game, which was a ton of fun.
I was wondering if you would have gone to that yet.
Yeah, so like obviously I'm a big soccer guy, and I followed Minnesota for a while, but like because my home team of the Chicago Fire are terrible. Um, and so like and when I was in the Quad Cities, I didn't have a team that was like very local that I could kind of go to for games. Like when we were in
Hmm.
Platteville, like I went to a Madison FC. Shout out the Flamingos. I went to a couple of their games, but yeah, so I haven't had like a place close, and now I have this team that's actually like pretty good, literally like 30 minutes away. So I went to one of their like opening games of the season. It was a ton of fun. I said my girlfriend never been to a soccer game before, so that was kind of her first experience, and it was definitely a crazy game. So it was a lot of fun. I'm excited to go to some more. But yeah, that's basically what the summer's been is like getting settled with all that stuff and kind of getting even my setup and stuff like getting the apartment unpacked and getting the apartment all set up and the setup for recording setup. Um, so yeah, that's. Do you have any other life updates you want to talk about, or should we dive into some of the other stuff that's happened this summer
Other life
slash fall?
updates, not terribly too much. let's see, these Minnesota kids have been really, really eager this past summer. So I've been working diligently with the VPMD. He is so excited and so hyped. We've got like his calendar, he's so prepared and everything, and it's just been that's been like my big summer experience life update is really getting to work with them. And now that we're working with Jace, it's
Hmm.
been such a beautiful thing and just seeing that these kids like turn everything around.
Hmm. Are you still the
So
balance man coordinator for them, or are you doing
I
a different
am,
role now? Okay,
yes, I'm the
okay.
balance man coordinator. I stepped down for Madison as the balance man steward, because
Hmm.
being two balance man stewards,
It's a lot of work.
while a busy life, yeah.
Hmm.
And I don't think I could adequately give two chapters my all, and which is fair, absolutely fair. And I think as I was getting to a
Yeah,
point where I'd start overburdening myself, which once again, completely fair. But so
yeah.
did
That's
that.
okay.
Now just a trustee for Madison. We've had a couple of meetings and everything like that. They're getting officially getting their house 1 year from this month.
Awesome. How is
So
the? I mean, obviously we had BK on like earlier this year, but how has the charting process been going? Like,
really good. Like there's a lot of like their grades. Have been phenomenal, which is like it's always a big scary like you have a
hmm
lot of younger kids coming in and that who don't really know SIG too well, and like it's just also when they're a lot younger, sometimes grades can be like a bit of a weird thing, especially when you're younger. But they've killed it.
hmm
They've killed it both
good.
semesters. They've really done well.
What's the
Lower level
chapter size
three.
up to now?
I want to
That's okay if you don't know
say
off the top of your head, but
like 30s, 40s, like so like they're like at a good chunk for
yeah,
their first full year. And now that
yeah.
they're on their own, um, we have quite a bit of help. The was they're getting more and more alumni involved, and we also recently started utilizing Nationals' like newsletter service,
Hmm.
which has been they've been an absolute help, and they're really really good at what they do. So the newsletters are like really able to help, especially pull a lot of alumni in now that we have something physical, something electronic to really just go like reach out, and it's just been like such a great process getting everyone back on board.
Yeah. Shoot, I just had another question I was gonna ask. And I forgot what it was. Um, dang it. Now there's a law. Keep talking about Madison if you
I
can,
can
or
talk
if you have
about
anything else.
anything you want in this world.
It might come back to me. It might come back to
No
me. I gotta
worries.
wrap
So
up there.
SIGUP wise though, like that's been a lot of my involvement. I didn't this year go to Tampa.
Hmm.
Um, and for some reason they've chosen yet again another warm state for the next conclave. So
They're going to
I can't.
Arizona, right?
I have a lot of opinions on that. I understand it's cheaper, which is,
Mhm.
cost is a very important thing when it comes to nationals. I completely get it and I love it. I am a Midwestern guy. I don't do the warmth.
Bring
So
it back to Chicago. Bring it back
why
to
don't,
Chicago.
we could go to like to Seattle, we could take it to Alberta. Just saying, what? We can make it even colder and go to Juneau.
Yes.
Imagine an Alaskan conclave.
I don't know how many people would go to that, but
I would have cheap flight tickets, that's all I know. But
mhm. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So conclave next conclave is going to be in Arizona, but obviously this conclave was pretty big for the Wisconsin Theta boys in our chapter. Like we had a lot of stuff that happened there, so we won our third consecutive Buck Cup, which is awesome. We say it every time that we talk about the next Buck Cup, but it's always harder. So we're getting close to that illustrious Golden Buck Cup, which will be awesome if we can get to it. But
which it's good.
um,
Like now that they've achieved a competitive turkey, that the next
mhm.
step is four and then finally five. And I think I can agree with that, that it is like definitely a little bit harder because like how do you step up from what you're already doing and especially a very competitively small school?
Mhm.
Like it's obviously no secret that, attendance and applying for college is down due to COVID, due to birth rates, due to this, that, and et cetera.
Mhm.
And it makes it
Mhm.
even harder for us to succeed. But somehow we're pulling through. Like not
Yeah.
only have we had like monstrous growth of dedication and drive from this chapter, like there's always up and down, but it's always but for us, like from I guess I feel from where like you and I started to like now it's just ever growing and growing. And then
Hmm.
especially when it comes to like alumni engagement and support, it's just so crazy, to like where like every alumni is involved in some way, shape, or form. Like it's, even if they're not really even like as involved as like being on the board like you, but like they're like still talking about it, they're still engaged, they're still like
Hmm.
even talking with some undergrads and keeping that like strong community network that I think is still very, very valuable in every way.
Yeah, I think it's great that you like talk about that stuff because obviously, like with my role as the secretary, like the communication's the big thing, and there was
Mm.
some stuff in our book cup, like feedback that really talked about the communication and how important it was for like like they it was important enough that they recognize it as one of the big things that our chapter does well, and like that was part of the like stuff that kind of put us into that echelon to win a Buchanan Cup. So but yeah, I think it's important to kind of like recognize, like you said, it is hard to kind of go back to back to back because once you get like that first one and you get that feedback, like you're expected to do better. And so when you're like already achieving very well GPA wise to the chapter or like nailing your recruitment goals and getting your guys to have to step it up again and like beat that across 2 years, like the 2 year Buck Cup cycles, it's like I said, it is very difficult to kind of keep that going. And so I have faith in these guys. Like obviously I talk to them pretty regularly, especially like the guys that I mentee and then, the ones that are in our different ABC meetings. But yeah, it's, they've been knocking it out of the park. They've been killing it there. And they've been recognized for kind of the work that they've been putting in and, being a leader, not only at the university level, but, at a SIG-UP level, like, going from a chapter that maybe people had heard our name, but didn't. Well, it wasn't in Mouse a whole lot. To now we're like some of the first chapters to get asked to kind of do stuff is really awesome to hear. So
Right.
um,
Like I think it
yeah.
like for a while, really early on, even before we won one, like hearing, like a lot of, big wigs, so to say, and SIGAP talk about like how we're a great chapter. Like it never truly felt like that until we've started like making ground waves. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. I keep using a lot of like euphemisms and a lot of like random verbs for this, but like at the end of the day, it really is such an amazing feeling this many years later, knowing that we're still talking and putting through everything that like they've been pushing for us. Like they've been saying we're a great chapter, we do great work, and yes, here's our great work, here's everything that we're doing, and we're still pushing for it.
Yeah, we're not just talking the talk anymore. We're walking the walk, as they would say.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's phenomenal that the undergrads were able to do that. Like we had a nice committee between the ABC and the undergrads that works to kind of get our application together, make sure we're collecting all the stuff we need to do. So like, shout out to all those guys that put in a lot of hours. I mean, especially I think the applications were doing like I think February, and they were like grinding out for weeks, like making sure they got everything, reaching out to people because you have to get like so many like letters from different people, like the university president or the chancellor, and like different higher ups in SIGUP and whatnot. So, um, to keep on top of that stuff and make sure that we're recording everything, like it's awesome. And obviously, like now that it's happened, we're already into the next cycle, so they're already starting to record stuff and get stuff ready. But well, like I said, I wanted to emphasize like there was a very big like alumni like recognition, especially with like a lot of stuff that we've been doing with our ABC. Like that was something that was highlighted, and talking about some of the communication pieces and how we stay connected with everybody was important. It's why like we've been pushing so hard to make sure we keep doing that kind of stuff and doing stuff like this podcast, like making sure we're still getting people on to come talk about stuff and get it out to people. Like that's something that was recognized, which is awesome. So so yeah, that was the first big thing. The second big thing that happened at Conclave, which was very awesome. Mr. Tom Barton, one of our founders, friends of the chapter, and good friend to both of us. He got recognized with the Order of the Golden Heart, which is SIGEP's like highest award, for service to the fraternity. Um, so you and I have been to a couple conclaves, like seeing people get recognized for it, but seeing somebody like so close to home getting recognized for it was really really cool. I collected a couple of statements from some people for an article that we did on the website, and just like hearing about how much, like, obviously we know how much Tom puts into the chapter and puts into, the relationships that he has with all of us, and so to get recognized for that was really really cool. It'll be good to see him, here soon, because it's been a while since I've chatted with him.
Hmm. No, it's more than well deserved. I mean, he's put every ounce in this fraternity, and it's so glad to see that he's getting this award.
Yeah. So yeah, that was, the obviously the big stuff from Conclave. Um, I think I wanted to touch on. I put it in our little rundown to touch about the new Buck Cup stuff, because I think it kind of overlaps with some of the stuff that we're trying to do with the podcast. Like I said earlier, so um, every year when they do this Buck Cup cycle, they get a nice little rubric that kind of talks about a lot of the stuff. And so they came out with a new one for this one, and we talked about it extensively at our ABC meetings. But to, like, for the listeners, like, to kind of talk a little bit about what we're looking to do with this podcast, like, going forward now. Like, obviously we keep coming back to it, we keep hitting our lulls, and that's just because stuff gets busy when we're doing a lot for our respective chapters on top of our jobs and personal stuff. But like I said, this upcoming new Buck Cup cycle has placed a really big emphasis on, what the volunteers are doing, and what the volunteers are specifically doing for the chapter and for the undergrads, in terms of mentoring and stuff. But the communication is like a much bigger piece on this one. And so something that I want to highlight specifically is they talk about how the AVC implements an alumni engagement strategy where it talks about, consistent branding and storytelling with all the pieces that we put out there. And like I said, I think we're kind of a little bit ahead of the curve, because we've been doing this podcast for what, like, a handful of years now. So we were already kind of doing that storytelling part, but now it's showing how much more important it is going to be going forward. And so, talking about how we started at the beginning of the podcast, the hope is now we're going to be the last time we're saying, we're coming back to this. We're going to try to stay as consistent as possible as we can with these going forward, and bring on a bunch of different guests, a lot of new people that haven't been on before that want to talk about stuff. Now that we've kind of got connections across a plethora of AVCs and undergraduate chapters. So again, hopefully here going forward, this is going to be a lot more consistent, a lot more organized. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of good, stuff that we want to do for you all to listen to us rant about and talk about. And I'm looking forward to doing it again. I'm very excited that we're kind of getting back into the swing of things with this. I don't know if you have anything you want to add to that.
I was thinking about it for a second. Like I kind of was a little
Yep.
bit in deep thought, and I think the biggest thing that I really want to discuss on that is like I think it's good that they're putting that much emphasis because a lot of chapters who are doing great have this phenomenal communication, and like I think that's what Nationals is really trying to push with this emphasis is that the chapters who are doing all of the right stuff and getting everything they can with communication is in my opinion, one of the most important things it comes to when having this connection between the ABC and the undergrads in order for each organization to grow. Like, it's not really just about, hey, how's it going? I'm the president mentor. Happy to help. Call me when you need me. Click, bye. Don't talk again for the rest of the term. While that
Mm-hmm.
does work in some cases, there's a lot of really big important things, especially of like, hey, I'm here. Let's set up a meeting. How can we talk? How can we help? How do you want to grow this position? And first and foremost, let's get you prepared. You know, Once you get the preparation out of the way, the rest of the semester, you could just spend, hey, weekly call. What went good? What went bad? Let's grow from here. Let's keep taking this individual step.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you're, taking up this one up on the communication from just the mentoring side, as the ABC collectively giving back in terms of this communication, having these articles, having these newsletters, having all of this just individual communication from something as simple as Austin's story of, how he overcame struggles, trying to find out what he wanted to do after graduation because he turns out he didn't want to become a school psychologist. Something
Mm-hmm.
like that, because at the end of the day, there was probably someone feeling the exact same way that you did. Even though you did take that route, not, you get my point. But
Yeah,
all
I
in all,
and
like,
I
I'm
sorry,
sorry.
you finish your thought. Finish your thought.
I was gonna say, like, there's a way to connect at any single point, and it doesn't have to be formal. It doesn't have to be just mentoring. The little things is really what's important at the heart of it all, because I truly do feel that a lot of these undergraduates need guidance, and you can't really do it unless it's already done, right? So if that
Hmm.
it sounds a little not, it doesn't make sense, and so let me explain a little bit. So it's not said, like a lot of the stuff isn't said, but once you put it out there and just finally do it, like talking about how like Austin had these major struggles after graduation. Austin really thought he knew what he did until he didn't.
Hmm.
Dominick, went through some crazy things as a child, right? Dominick, um, this and that, right? So like it's building those bridges and just talking about it and being able to bring a lot of things closer together because at the end of the day, it will tie together in some way or capacity. As crazy as all this like rambling sounds, I think I'm appreciative that they're putting this in because I
Yeah,
do think it's really important.
yeah. I think you summed it up very well because like one of the big things I've been trying to, and I'll talk about some of the projects that I've been working on this summer for the AVC side of things, but um, I think what you're talking about with like the experiences aspect and like everyone having these, experiences that may be unique to them, but some may just think that it's unique to them and somebody else might have had that similar experience, and so being able to bring people together to kind of share their thoughts and what the different things that they've had going on in their lives, as undergrads or as adults now, like has been like the big emphasis on kind of like a lot of the stuff that I've been trying to do here, because like you said, I think it's important to kind of get those stories out there and get that, because you never know who it's going to touch and how it might impact somebody, right? So, like one of the big things I was working on this summer, it's something that I'm going to continuously keep pushing because it's important, but like just getting those connections out there was like we did an audit of like our contact information for the alumni side, which not a whole lot of people kind of responded, and or at least like to the extent that I was kind of hoping for. But we still brought in like a bunch of different people that whose contact information was not updated, maybe weren't getting the full like emails or stuff that we're sending out, and so hopefully going forward, like that's going to be something that we continuously kind of work on as well. The other thing, which I'm not going to go into too much detail on because I'm hoping that the person that I have in charge of it will be able to come on our next episode. But we've been working on this like visual kind of history of the chapter over the last 25 years and onward. And so I've been working with a little team that I've kind of assembled, who are very passionate about history, to kind of gather all this information, take what we have already, and put it all together in a way that we can kind of show off, the like I said, the history of the chapter. And so, we'll talk about that one more when we do the next one, hopefully. But those have been the kind of the big things that we've been kind of pushing for to work on here. Um, but yeah, it's been a busy time, busy summer, lots of stuff going on. Um, we're kind of getting towards the back end of our time. I know you got some stuff you got to going on tonight. I still have some stuff that I got to going on tonight. But the last thing we kind of had on our rundown to talk about is 25-year banquet. It's coming up here. It's the end of August. It's in October, the second week of October. Um, what? How excited are you? Let's talk about the excitement levels here.
I think I don't know. I'm not a very like jump out of my seat kind of person, so like, but like at the end of the day, I'm very excited for it. I
Hmm.
think I don't know. I've been on a lot of thought about this because I've been talking with Jurgis quite a bit about everything, and seeing his like extreme excitement about it and how much effort and work he's put into it has made me more excited. Because at the
Hmm.
end of the day, I've been to a banquet before, right? I know what a banquet's going to look like. I know how it's going to run. There's always going to be awards. There's always going to be burning heart. There's this and that. But I think that what makes me excited is the effort that not only him but the team has really put into it, and it's something that like you know what. I could do it. I could go out. I could buy a new suit for this. I'm not buying a tux, but I'm buying a new suit for this.
I think I'm gonna be getting one as well.
Suit or tux?
Probably just a suit. I'm not gonna get a tuxedo. Yeah,
Man, I know.
could still look dapper
But
without it.
I have much more time later in life to get a tux. I am not getting a tux today.
Yeah, no, I think my excitement level is very high for it as well. We've both been kind of doing some stuff behind the scenes to for it, but it's going to be a fun weekend. I think some of the stuff I'm most excited for is the fact that I don't know if this number has been put out there yet, so we might be the first ones talking about this, but we have like over 100 alumni coming back, which like is it's pretty big. Like when we talk about like numbers, when you look at like so the AVC we have 40, I think 40. Oh, maybe we're at 50s now, but I think we're somewhere there, like 40, 50 members. We have some other volunteers that are non AVC members that are still helping us out. So, like, give or take, our reach is there somewhere around that number. And so the fact that we have, like Chris has gone quite into the depths to kind of get some people that, have been a little out of it for a bit to come back for this. And so, talking about our experience, like, getting experiences and reconnecting with a lot of these brothers, like we're gonna have a lot of people hopefully that we can network and talk with to kind of get them to come on and kind of share some of this stuff now that they've come back into I shouldn't say the spotlight, I guess, but like coming back into that, like the SIG up relevancy. So that's gonna be big. Obviously, like the whole weekend in general is just there's a lot of stuff going on. We've got the burning heart ceremony, we've got the whiskey tasting going on, we've got a full day of events on Saturday with the actual banquet being the highlight. But you and I are doing an event as well. We're doing a roundtable with a bunch of the founders, which is going to be awesome to do our style podcast live. Finally, something that we've been talking about doing. But being able to sit down with them and kind of host that. And hopefully that will kind of steamroll into doing this more live, more, more opportunities for it. But yeah, it's going to be an awesome weekend. I'm excited. There's going to be a lot of people coming back for it. Platteville's going to be a hoot while we're there. It's like is it the weekends? Homecoming's around that time too, right? Like
It's the
maybe after.
week directly after homecoming. So
Okay,
once
that's
the homecoming's done, and then we're full swing right into 25 here.
yeah. So that's gonna, I think, make it a little more fun too because you'll get to after the high that hopefully another banquet or homecoming win gives us. We'll all be able to there to kind of celebrate it as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be exciting. If you weren't able to or you weren't able to get a ticket or anything, it's unfortunate we're gonna miss you there, but there's gonna be other banquets that come around. So yeah.
Definitely. I think that it'll be a great time, and I'm excited for it. I'm happy to see people, and it's good that we have that much alumni presence
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think that I would have expected that, but it's so nice to see, and I'm excited just to meet people. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I was pretty surprised too. Like I said, there's some, like we've had our interactions with a fair share of alumni and undergrads, but there's some guys that are gonna be there that I've never met before. Maybe don't know that we do this podcast, and so like now we can start, like I said, putting some bugs in some ears to be like, hey, this is something that we do.
Hmm.
Would you be interested in coming on or getting re-involved? So yeah, it's gonna be an awesome time. I'm so excited.
I think it'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, that's basically everything we had on the rundown. Do you have anything else that you want to chit chat about before we
Nothing
head off
big.
here?
No, I think we're good here. I think this is a good. I do love our hello, welcome back.
Well, because
It's
like,
always kind of nice. We don't
yeah, it
do
gives
this
us an
enough, and I get
opportunity.
my. Oh, there we go. Uh, I agree. It gives us that opportunity to really catch up and just kind of get back into things.
Mhm. I mean, for people that, you and I text pretty frequently still, so it's not like a whole like we're not in communication, but it's different when we get to sit down and talk like this compared to just texting around.
Exactly.
So yeah, this I think this is a good one to come back on. Like I said, got some people lined up for a couple more. We gotta, make reach out to a couple more people, but um, yeah, like I said, hope is, we're gonna be banging these things out, and then really bringing some people that haven't been on before. So um, yeah, I mean, you got anything to say on the way out?
No, I'm excited to see if you are. Coming to Banquet, make sure to sign up to donate stuff if you are donating stuff to the silent auction. Other than that, yeah, see everyone at Banquet.
Yeah. Before we head out, make sure you guys are following all of the like chapter and social media stuff. We have a Facebook account, we have an Instagram account, we've got a LinkedIn account if you want to be in that. That was another project I was working on this summer. I guess I didn't emphasize that enough, but we got a LinkedIn account. If you got a LinkedIn and you wanna be in there, make sure you follow this YouTube page so that we can kind of get the notifications. Like, subscribe, make sure you turn on the bell for notifications, and then make sure you're just checking out the like actual like undergraduate, or I guess it's not an undergraduate website, a chapter website that we have, because that's where usually I post these two, and then I throw them out on our social media. But that's another place you can see it, as well as all the other articles that we do and stuff that we post. So yeah, I'm glad to be back, Dom. I'm glad to be doing these a lot more frequently, and hopefully, hopefully we don't hit another lull sometime down the road.
No, no more lulls. We're done.
No more lulls. No more lulls. We'll start getting our acts together. Um,
Absolutely.
awesome. Well, like I said, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad that we're sitting down talking again, and you know, everybody that's listening, thank you for doing that. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Take her easy.